Hello there everybody, it's Spudder92 and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry Onikakushi. Now, I know I said I should probably be doing an episode of The Mad Father or Stanley Parable, but here's the thing. Holy shit, this is starting to get in, okay, it was interesting before, but it wasn't as big as the interest factor, but now that things are starting to get a little, messed up. Oh god, this audio is fucking up. My headphones are messing up miserably. I'm just getting extremely excited, and I'm getting more curious about what the hell's going on. So, let's continue. Okay, the happy music's back up.
Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Kei-chan.
You didn't do so badly yourself, Mio. Yesterday was fun.
Oh, that's right, Keiji-kun. Thank you very much. For Mr. Bear.
I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though.
I wouldn't.
My throat's a little sore. I can't talk a lot. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. Oh crap, immediately to the hijinks.
My now, how diligent of you to mop the floor this morning.
Clomp, 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 whip.
Keiji-san flicked my forehead. You should set a more brutal trap next time.
Seeing that, Reina began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there, and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I had had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished.
Oh, what is it, Keiji-kun? I didn't get enough sleep, maybe?
I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class.
You shouldn't do that.
Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then. This time of year, you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to turn it out. But then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention. Oh, it's a woman. My bad.
You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand?
In unison, everyone replied.
Yes, ma'am.
What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying,
don't spout stupid shit you think is funny.
And now, I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Oh, god damn it.
Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one?
Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting.
The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose, you hear?
Is it Clue?
I'm not too bad at this game.
It seemed that Reina didn't handle this kind of game very well.
The rules are...
Oh, whoops. The person who can match the murderer, weapon, and scene of the crime wins. Yeah, it's Clue. That's easy. There are 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. Okay, this is obviously Clue. We kind of know the details about this game. I could see the names
I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards.
What?
Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons, too. Like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice, too. Like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. That's kind of how Clue works. And then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends if we check the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends, even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing. So, Mion. What's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with the gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess? I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Seems like a simple penalty, really. Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah. You don't know what you'll have to go buy. Oh! I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. Oh, that's clever. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out. So that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. Then I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion. Mion, knife, study. You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask each person. If you have any of those cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. 3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife, and study. So that means that Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Gotta jot that down. And then I'll go. Reina, axe, lounge. Only 2 people said they had one. So it means, out of Reina and axe and lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime. No wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satsuko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Kei-chan is next. Go ahead. Wait just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. Alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles and Mio just now raises her hand. The murderer is Rika-chan, in the infirmary with the poison. Well, Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right. You were right! Oh. All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. That's kinda messed up there, Rika. Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Reina and I were left out in the cold, though. How did you do, Keiji-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry. I had no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate. That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple? What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? That'd be kind of embarrassing. I can tell from Cage's expression that he's not very good at this game. What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock and Mayabar during the next round. My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win the game. Eureka! Ah, sorry, need to go to the bathroom. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Oh, come on, that's nice. That's not nice. Michan, that's gross. I had them hold off the game and head down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Reina had made her way over towards me. Kichi-kun, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Reina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Reina, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all losses. Why do you ask? I wonder. I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one. So, I guess both of us will be taking that penalty. Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us. But how can we... I brought my lips up to Reina's ear. Whisper, 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 whisper. Huh? Is that allowed? Did you forget, Reina? The second rule of our society? Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. Ooh, they got themselves a little evil plan. Nice. Our plan of attack was quite a rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. That's deadly. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys. Yeah, with this we can probably win. We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Reina was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement. Oh, sorry. Then what should we do? Oh, whoops. I got the voices mixed up again. God damn it. Go back ahead of me, Reina. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Reina turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected someone, then there could be problems. Well, they figured it out sooner or later, because both Reina and I would start winning over and over again. Both Reina and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. Mayabara-kun, may I have a moment? Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things are just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not Guyona Hotel. They have been waiting. Please hurry. It was rather unfortunate that I'd have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. That's strange. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Who the hell are you? Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm.
You Mayabura-san.
Keiichi Mayabura-san. I don't know why I'm giving him this voice. There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Toмотaki-san, I'd been running her into so many middle-aged men. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? That's kind of odd. The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know. And he was asking me to get into his car with him? I'm not going to bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about. Even while knowing that conversations that start out like this never lead to anything good. This started off getting strange immediately. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least.
Okay, I need to figure out a good voice for this guy. Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up.
So what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy.
If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me.
Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture. The looked like it was taken at the DMV.
There are scribbles on his shirt done in a permanent marker. Oh, no. Starting with yours, Mayabura-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Oh.
Huh? This is Toмотaki-san. There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face.
Then do you know this woman?
Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Toмотaki-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. What the hell just happened there?
When was the last time you saw these two?
The night of the Onikakushi. We spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess.
Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it.
Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to him? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Toмотaki-san? Did something happen to him? And more importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew about him more than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again.
You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, Mayabura-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oriyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. Pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Okay, am I the only one that got like this big feel that like I just felt my freaking heart drop all the way to my freaking gut? Not at all. If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Toмотaki-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it?
The dismemberment killing. The accidental death. The death by illness followed by suicide. And the lady who was beaten to death. The instance that always happened the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Toмотaki-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No. Rather, I didn't want to think that there was anything more than that.
Do you know of that, well, curse, Mayabura-san? Feel free to speak openly about it.
I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling.
Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys.
So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point?
Oh, no. The man in this picture is dead.
My mind would... Okay. And now my heart just went straight down to the bottom of my feet. My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomotaki-san?
It would seem that he died last night.
That was the night of the Watanagashi.
Do you understand the implications behind that, Mayabara-san?
Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi, meaning this year, the curse of the Oriashiro-sama had once again.
The death of Jiro Tomotaki is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right?
I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Tell me what happened.
It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa.
It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not that I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn or something I shouldn't. Or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. Oh, God, Tomotaki, no.
One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder around there.
There were a few streetlights on that road. Its pitch-black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomotaki-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomotaki-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt.
We thought it was a hit and run at first. But when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped... His throat had been ripped open.
From a knife or something?
No. Nails.
Nails? As in fingernails? With those? He clawed through...
From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was his own nails.
What does that... What does that mean? What? He clawed... What? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder, it was suicide. He clawed out his... Tomotaki-san thought that there was a reason to tear open his own throat? As hard as he could with his own nails? Tore through the skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomotaki-san didn't stop. He continued clawing, with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails. Still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Splurt. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed. His body spasmed and he died in agony.
We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected.
But this... it was a suicide. I've never heard of such a thing. This is a natural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died. In these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomotaki-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their throat. Wounds on his hands matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There were traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails within. Tomataki's son's blood was found all over the place. Meaning that while tearing at his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries which were not self-inflicted discovered on Tomataki-san. There was a high probability Tomataki-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. What? To summarize, Tomataki-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then, he died.
The presumed time of death was around 9:23 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomataki-san at the festival.
Everyone signed Tomataki's son's shirt and parted ways. Right after that? Yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her?
She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work and she hasn't returned home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident.
For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomataki-san was short, but we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us.
We've been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative.
Then that I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomataki-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa? I should have been angry that that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me.
If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomataki died from Oyashiro-sama's curse.
He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance.
Wider than Watsunagashi. During that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out.
There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomataki-san. Tomataki-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse.
I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh. That's how this must be, Mayabara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand?
Neither Tomataki-san nor I believed in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomataki-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomataki-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomataki-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomataki-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either.
No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, that is enough.
If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense.
Things, or people, or rumors. Anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up.
He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter.
Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tomotaki-san's unfortunate death.
That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face.
Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential.
Understood.
From your friends as well. Especially from Sonozaki-san and Furue-san. Please do not inform them.
Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly, being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry.
This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose.
Don't play games with me! Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended.
I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you.
Say it! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit.
There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of the village conspiracy.
There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that?
No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village.
Then how did you come to that conclusion?
Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Onikakushi.
Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of Onikakushi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa? First it was the damn construction foreman.
Then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die one after the other for mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end of the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion.
But it couldn't just be scrubbed off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village.
The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result.
Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomotaki-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project as well. Was he killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project. But as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower.
Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower.
What's scary about that?
It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough.
Then, next year's victim, they're just going to be picked out of the villager outside pool?
It might be a person that just moved here.
What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would consider the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims... my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? What does that have to do with Mion?
I can't go into details, but the Sonozaki family led the damn protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanors and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests.
I knew Mion knew what it meant to fight. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protests, though. Then, what does it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it.
Not a very clear explanation. I feel like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know.
We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers.
Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression.
It seemed that he understood it well enough. And think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that?
What do you mean, how about that? How should I know?
But the reasoning behind me wanting to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with the curse. He was definitely going to get caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they don't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Oishi from the Okinamiyama police station. Okinamiya. There we go. Okinamiya. You can call me Kuro-chan if you want. Kuro-chan. No. Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. The door opened with a click and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat, as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that's self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Mayabara-san. There was enough proof that the village is not involved. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything. But I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, Mayabara-kun. I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomotaki-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy? Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Reina, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomotaki-san? Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here, somewhere in Minamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. It's me-chan, the perpetrator. Huh? I was startled to hear Reina's voice. With the rope in the lounge. Nope. No! Reina clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow. This happy music is not really helping me at all. Good lord. Katie-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see. You were reprimanded for bad behavior. That's a shame. Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place? Don't worry, Keiji-kun. I'm at -1 points. The heck? Her score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing?
This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Reina alone or by both Kei-chan and Reina. Yeah, right. Just let Reina do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Keiji-kun, that we could both win. We waited all this time, you know? I'm sorry about that. I followed my initial plan of showing Reina my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call. I got it! The murderer is me! With the poison at the entrance. Is it? My, Reina, quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark? Oh. Reina's correct. Oh. Then it's decided that Keiji-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Keiji-kun, let's both do our best. Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice. And that's the game. It's me, Mio and Sonozaki, ranked first. In dead last are Keiichi Maibara and Reina Ryugu. Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. Oh, how would she make us buy? I wonder.
Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it?
Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper.
Whoa, there's a lot written here. A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar and fried tofu. What the heck is this?
It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Me was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable. Thanks.
This is just your grocery list. I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. God, I am not feeling happy at all. I almost feel sick to my stomach now. We've received new tips. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Search notice. Achievement unlocked, not a clue. Okay, save. Close. Alright, okay. Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed into the nails, not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scars also matches. Yeah, I know the immediate cause of death was suicide.
I get it. You're saying that the cause of death is unnatural, right?
It's kind of like when your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood.
Some of Tomotaki-san's fingernails have been pulled out. It's actually quite simple to pull out one's own nail, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there are a lot of bruises on Tomotaki's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone, or a group of people. According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death. Oh. Okay. Then he fought back and clawed out his own throat because of how hysterical he'd become. The guy attacking him certainly would have been surprised by that. It is possible that, in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases. Actually, Oishi-kun, that wood plank the deceased used as a weapon? They only found sand and paint up from the guardrail on it. What about cloth fibers or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants. Or it could be that they took the plank he was fighting back with.
In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They'd take them all.
Har, that's true.
Tomatake's pretty built and tanned. He was quite athletic.
That's right. He was pretty active. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. I mean, yeah, look at him, he's fucking ripped. Meaning, he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around quickly, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit him at least once. To surround and take down someone of his physique, I wonder how many people it would take.
You dimwit. You should know better than anyone. Have you forgotten your bad cop days?
If I was to take down this guy,
How many would I need? When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers.
I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage.
There were quite a few perpetrators, so any drunken disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious.
A group of 4 or more. If they had that many, then they couldn't have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries. That's under serious consideration on my end, too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before.
I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results.
Oishi-san! The chief is calling you.
Thanks. See you around.
Yeah. Best wishes. Okay. Search notice. Jiro Tomatake, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomatake. Pen name? Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival. Accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. So the woman's name is Mio Takano? Wait a minute, didn't I hear that already? Oh well. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police. Location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5-6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazines companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere acts of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba, along the Sobu National Railway line. No individual matching the name Jiro Tomatake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. Attach a photo. Send to Metro Police. Contacting magazines regarding Jiro Tomatake. Mio Takano, missing. Nurse at Ide Clinic. Became close to Tomatake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinimiyama, X District XXX. Single. Witnessed accompanying Tomatake on the festival grounds. Currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get the information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oishi. What the hell? Okay, my freaking heart is in shambles now. I actually liked freaking Tomatake, and he's dead? What? Okay, I need to digest this. Why him? He was an awesome guy. I even gave him the Sans voice. What the hell? Oh god, I need a break from this. But the sad thing is, I want to continue this, and people are probably gonna get mad at me that I'm gonna delay Mad Father, but holy shit, this is getting really, really good. So, you guys might hate me, but here's what I'm gonna try to get enough recordings done where I can maybe get 2 episodes up, okay? This one, and I think either the day after, maybe Monday, I'm gonna try to get 2 recordings done so they'll be both uploaded. Another episode of this, and an episode of Mad Father. I'll try, if I have the time to do this. So, I need to look up a video of freaking puppies and kittens, because I liked Tomotaki, and now I'm freaking... He's fucking dead. Well, thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.